All right. Here we are at the Crystal Clear Point Studios today with Dr. Matthew Pierce. And we got to give you some kind of title, Lulu. You're an herbalist, apothecarian.
It's apothecarian a title.
I'm going
Is
to make it one.
apothecarian a title? Why
I
don't we make
crown
it a title?
Queen Apothecarian. Dun, dun, dun. And
Well,
I'm
I
having
do
a,
have a BS, Bachelor of Science. I mean, no, it's an AS.
I thought you were
An
going to say you have
associate.
BF like Bachelor of Fuckery. What kind of fuckery are you up to today? All right. Here's the kind of day I'm having. Protein shake with Kahlua. That's
There
the
you
kind of
go.
day I'm having.
And
So
I would be having some screwball whiskey in mine, but I didn't buy any.
what do they call it? Screwball.
It's just the fun name they gave it.
Sounds like fuckery to me. That's my new word. My new word for the
Fuckery.
week. Fuckery. What fuckery are we up to today? So what we're talking
Well, keep the
about,
dumb fuckery to a minimum, would you?
uh, don't ask me to do the impossible. I can't pull a miracle out of my butt all the time. I'm sorry. So we're talking about what do you have to do or what are you willing to do to sustain relationships? And when did you say enough is enough? And does this mean that we're just getting old and cranky, or does it mean we're getting wiser and more discerning? See, I can
I would
reframe
like to
any.
get, I would like to go with wiser and more discerning.
I like that too. I like that too. So what I have found, what started this is that first of all, I'm in a mood. Luann's in a mood. Matthew's always in a mood. We just can never put a title on it. And I'm just aggravated and I just want to claw my face today. And I'm just frustrated with people in general. But I have found that to sustain relationships, people expect you to go see them. I don't understand that.
Spend time with them. Yes, they expect it.
You mean
Why?
text isn't appropriate today? I mean,
I don't even
that's
want to text. Can we just telepathically converse, and just know that we love each other and be done with it? That's kind of where I'm at. But I have found myself doing things all my life, but it's really starting to get on my nerves lately, where I go and do things I'm not really excited about or I don't have an interest in an effort to be spending time with people in an effort to connect with them on their level. And I'm like, I'm tired of this fuckery. I don't want to do this anymore. And I have found that I rarely plan the activities. And I always consider myself happy-go-lucky and easy to get I know, easy to get along with. Go ahead, laugh.
Ah!
And because I don't have a preference, I either want to spend time with you or I don't want to spend time with you. And generally, I don't care what we're doing as long as we're spending time together. But what I have found is that people spend time together, but they don't talk. So what's the point of being in the same room together?
you
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's go ahead, Luann.
that's very important to, even if you're just talking nonsense, you need to communicate somehow. What happened since the last time I saw you? What are you doing now? How's your husband? How's your kids? I mean, that's how, to me, how I want I want to communicate with people. I want them to know I'm interested in them and their life and what they're doing. But as far as close friends, I want to go and do things. I enjoyed when we went to the movies, even though we didn't talk. I know I talked. I'm
Well,
sorry.
we did talk. We talked in the car. We talked when we eat, and so it wasn't like we didn't do things. So that there was a connectiveness. And then you talked during the movie, so there was that.
I'm glad I was not there.
She didn't really talk. I'm just pulling her
It
leg.
was that time I went, what?
I know she went, "What did they say?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't hear it either."
I'm that kind of person that's in a movie theater. If you're talking behind me, I turn around and like,
Oh, that's what
Well,
my husband does, Scott. I just turn and say, "Be quiet, or you're going to buy my ticket." That's what I do.
here, do that too.
yeah, I don't think you should, but I don't think there's anything wrong with saying what they say.
Yeah, no.
Well, except that then I miss what they're saying now because I'm listening to you because I put all of my attention on you because you're so important to me.
Wow, that was a nice kiss ass moment when we got it on tape.
No, it's true. I like to give my whole focus to whatever it is I'm doing.
Okay,
And I'm
so
not auditory, so I have to really focus, not being auditory, you know. I don't know if I'm not auditory, if I'm overly auditory, because I can block out things easily. But if I'm in a bad mood, they get on my nerves. So I don't know what that means. I
well,
don't
there
guess
was
I
a
can.
part of the last movie we saw where the man just slapped the pee waddle dee doo out of a woman, and I went, God damn it. Because that was my gut reaction,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah. I now when you're at a fun movie and the dialogue is not real important, you know, because it's just nonsense and fuckery. I love it when you're in a movie theater and the whole audience is talking to the screen. That cracks me up. You know, I do enjoy that, but it has to be a certain type of movie, you know.
So in our interaction and going to movies, I found out that I really need to try to not talk to her because she does. She's like laser focused on what I said and she misses the movie. I, however, can carry on 3 conversations and understand all of them.
Mm-mm.
I just don't care to have conversations sometimes. I'm just like, why are we discussing this?
Yeah, get up.
You know,
We'll go out to the hall and we'll talk, and then we'll come back and finish the movie.
yeah,
So what do you do with your friends?
honestly, I mean, it's either more, I don't go out that much. I really don't. I mean, I, have some stuff going on with my foot and, for me, it's kind of hard to get around and, going to the mall and walking around, that's impossible. I can probably get to the movie and I can probably do a movie, but I have friends that wouldn't like to see the same movies that I I like to see, you know?
Mhm.
And so, I mean, for me, it's kind of difficult. I mean, if we're doing anything, they're either coming over here and, we're having some drinks and, watching a movie on Netflix or renting something off of, Prime or, whatever. So, it's either here or there. A lot of my friends like to cook. I mean, so that's how we kind of converse. So,
Sign
I
me up.
mean,
When we
well,
going?
yeah.
That doesn't mean she wants to cook.
No,
Hmm.
no, no, no. I get that. But I mean that's just kind of like what my friends are and kind of where they are in their lives right now. I have friends that just started new relationships, so it's like I'm adjusting to that, and it's like, do I want to hear what all's going on, with you all? Yeah, no, not really. No. So I mean, it's like I don't want to hear the like, oh my God, they snore. Okay, I mean, why are we having that conversation?
Who
I don't need to
snores?
I don't need to know that.
Whatever this new relationship
What
is.
yeah, whatever this new
Oh,
relationship is. I
oh,
mean,
oh, I got it. I got lost.
and them complaining about, oh my God, they won't eat this or they won't eat that. And well, I tried to cook this for them, and then all of a sudden they decided that they didn't want that. So they went out to the kitchen and made their own peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay. I mean, am I supposed to care about those types of things?
Who
I
the
mean,
hell
or
talks about shit like that? Oh my God. What the hell?
I guess I'm like, bring me some substance, so I mean, so I have something that I can actually like interact with. I don't know, it seems to me that these days people are interacting like way up here when I want to be like here,
Yeah.
like give me some meat, give me something to engage in.
Well, I would
Well,
reverse that. You're way up here and they're down here,
Oh, okay, well, maybe
you
that's
know?
it, I don't know.
because they're telling you the basics instead of saying relationships are hard and I want to know how to get along with this other person and do I always have to be the one to give in, and so those are more lofty things to talk about, how
And
you
and, and that's those are the kind of areas that I like to be in, I'm the kind of person I like to be challenged, I mean, if you're taking and you're having a discussion with me, ask me questions that are going to challenge me. So I actually have to think, you know, I, I, I hate people that are, you know, one of my favorite things to do is go to, like, you know, to the checkout at the grocery store. Okay. And if someone says, "Hey, how are you today?" I'll ask them, "Do you really want to know? Or is that just a canned response? Or how long do you have? Because I have a lot to tell you." Okay. Go and do that, because I'm going to guarantee you that it's going to take them by surprise. And I think that many people today are just on autopilot and just, ugh.
Well, my natural response is I always say, are you nosy or are you just polite?
Mhm.
You know, and don't worry about being polite, and you're not allowed to be nosy. So there's nothing left for us to talk about, you know?
So continue checking me out, and here's my coupons.
So
And I
I
think
figured
that
out, oh, go ahead, Lulu.
I was saying the better response is great to see you today.
Or thank you for coming. So I have a job. I like that one. You know, thank you for validating me needing a job and giving me a job.
Yep.
Here's what I figured out the other day. I figured out this is what I enjoy: being in my car alone, going to the movies, either by myself or with someone who's quiet, time with my husband, and when I go over to Lulu's and we just sit there and we just talk about whatever and have these deep, dark conversations, or conversations with anybody that are deep and dark, you know. But to go out in a group, oh God, in a group, oh my God, I can't tolerate that. Oh my God. Oh my, it's overwhelming. I love working gigs too. It's really funny because to me, gigs are like the other extreme of what I like personally, but I enjoy the gigs. But I have to come home, and it takes me like 3 to 4 hours to decompress after a gig before I can go to
Mhm.
sleep.
Really? It takes you
So
that long?
yeah, it does. About 3 hours average,
Hmm.
unless it was a short gig, you know, and it was early in the day. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
it takes me a
I guess I just
while.
have that disengage, you know, mentality that, I mean, if you're coming to me and you're going to have like your palm read, or you're going to have some other kind of reading, as soon as we're done, bye. You know, I'm disengaging. You know, I'm not going to
I'm just
continue to.
engaged with them. It's just my energy. I
Yeah.
just it's it I guess really the accurate description is getting grounded in my body again. It takes me that long to get back in my body, so I
Hmm.
feel tired, and so I can, you know, kind of be me again. And I do that when I'm praying a lot. It's the same thing. It takes me a while to get back in my body when I've been praying a lot or meditating, that type of thing. So I don't know how to describe it better.
It
Oh,
doesn't take me
I get it.
quite that long, but I do have a high energy follow through because you go to a different plane, you know, when you're trying to give information to people that they need.
Yeah.
Whether you're using a card interpretation or just Deborah just gets it, you know, she doesn't need a card to help her tell it. But
Well, I mean,
it's
you're
like your
engaging with
energy.
someone else's energy.
Hmm?
You're engaging with someone else's energy.
Yes.
So,
I'm not.
well,
I'm
the sheer
not.
fact that they're in front of you, I mean, and you're telling them something about them, you're picking up on their energy, whether you like it or not.
I'm not.
So you just talk just
No,
blankly.
I'm connecting to God and letting God tell me what to say.
Okay. Well, you go with God. Okay. Because
Go with
you're the
God.
instrument of God. And if you want me to get me going again, okay, God isn't going to do shit if you're not sitting there.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think he'll get the message across eventually,
Yeah.
somehow or another. It could
Eventually
be
to
through
somehow.
any
But the
means.
thing is, Deborah, you decided to show up.
I did decide to show up, but the thing is that my focus, I can't even tell you what these people look like. Okay, you have to understand where I'm at. I can't tell you what they look. And when something like the other night when we were working, a little girl came and sat at the table with two adults from her family, and all of a sudden I'm not even paying attention. All of a sudden I hear she's a minor. I hear that she's a minor. Open your eyes. And I looked up and sure enough, she was a minor. And I turned to the adults and I said, do I have your permission to talk
Yeah.
to her? You know, but I was not aware of this until I heard the words in my head. She's a minor, open your damn eyes, you know? So, because I'm already in the zone or whatever you want to call it. So I'm not saying that there's no energy exchange. I don't want to be ridiculous and be argumentative, but my focus is not on the person across the table from me until they do something that will pull me into them. Like sometimes they'll grab me. That freaks me the hell out because it takes me out of my zone, you know, because then I go into PI mode going, do I have to defend myself? You know,
Don't make me get my knife out. Don't make me get my
where's my
knife out.
gun? You know, so when people touch me unexpectedly, that's an immediate grounding for me because that's just how I've trained myself. Um, and so certain things like that. So I guess more accurately, so you won't argue with me so much, is there's a flow between me, the person, and God, me, the person, and God. It's kind of like a
Well, I
cha-cha.
mean, I like
Cha-cha-cha.
that explanation better. I mean, where I go with that, and there are a lot of people that do this. Okay, they give their own power away. Okay, it's like they won't claim their own power. They won't claim how powerful they are. Okay, and Deborah, how I see you is I see you as a very, very powerful woman, a very gifted intuitive who is connected to God. Okay, and decides to show up. Okay. I don't like hearing like, oh, it's all God. No. Okay.
Well, no,
You
I
might
get what you're
claim that.
saying, and you're right. Let me validate you. You are absolutely right because honest to God, if I was not powerful to move some of the energy that I'm moving, I would literally die.
Yeah.
Okay, I would burn up. Okay, absolutely, or lose my mind. I've seen it happen with people. Okay, so no, I totally get what you're saying. And you really took me to task the other day, and I've really been pondering this and trying to find the balance of not being too humble, not being too dismissive of myself, that type of thing. So I'm listening to you, you little
Well,
pagan.
well, humble is one thing. Okay. Humble is one thing. Okay. But being to the point where you give away your power to be humble is something completely and totally different. Okay. Like, and I'm gonna say the word. Okay, you saying, hey, I'm a Christian mystic. Okay, that's a statement of fact. You
Oh, and I
shouldn't
got
run away.
challenged on that yesterday. Oh my God. This is
Then you're saying
exactly what
things
I was
right.
afraid was going to happen. Okay. I got a call for I got to turn this off. I don't want to say this hot.
She's like, hold on, hold on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I put that up on my Facebook page. I'm like, all right, I'm going to own it. I just know there are going to be people rolling their eyes and all kinds of crap, but I'm going to own it. Because at least opens the door for discussion, you
Yeah.
know? And sure enough, 2 days after I put that up, I get a call for a gig and we're talking and she's just loving me and all this stuff. She goes, well, I got to ask you a question. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And I knew before she even said it. She goes, what's this Christian mystic thing? I said, don't worry. I'm not there to invoke Jesus Christ upon people. I'm not there to save their souls. I'm not there to proselytize to them. It's just a description of where I feel like my gifts come from, and I just want to clarify that. Because I don't like the word psychic for myself. I don't identify as psychic because I feel like it doesn't fit the description of who I am.
Mhm.
And all it means is that I feel like my interaction is with God and I'm practicing the spiritual gifts as described in Second Chronicles or Corinthians or
Awesome.
whatever. So, but I was like, I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. And so
Okay,
I thought I
but
handled it well.
what was the outcome? I mean, what did they
Just
say?
cool.
I mean, what?
Just cool with it. She goes, that's great. That's great.
So there we go. So whatever you
So
said.
this says the belief that direct knowledge of God, spiritual truth, or ultimate reality can be obtained through subjective experience such as intuition or insight.
Oh, where'd you get that definition? Send that to me.
Merriam-Webster.
Well, Isn't Mr. Webster so smart? Is the Webster of the dictionary the same as Daniel Webster? Are they one and the same?
don't know.
Hell, I don't know.
I used to know stuff like that, but I don't know them now. I used to could tell you stuff like that. So anyway, I have been taking note of going and doing things for people that ask me to do things, just in the idea of maintaining and sustaining the relationship. And every time I've done that for the past 4 months, I've gotten sick.
Hmm.
So, gee, you think that was a message? Hello, get a clue phone. Quit doing crap you don't want to do.
Well, I mean, do you think that that was just because you were out and about and you just happened to be, or, was your energy just at that point where it was just like, well, I can't do this?
Well, I don't think it was because I was out and about, because, at gigs, we talk to hundreds of people. And,
Yeah, we do.
and during COVID, I can tell you 15 times during COVID, I was exposed and never got it. Okay. So I just think it just means that I'm in a blah place. And then when you're in a blah place, all of your systems are down. Your defenses are down physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And, and when you're sitting there just marking time, waiting to, can I go home yet? Can I go home yet? Can I go home yet? You're not in a good place. You're just not. So,
Well, I get it. I mean, when I'm at psychic fairs or when I'm doing, those types of things, I'm so focused on what I'm doing that the time flies. The time
oh
really,
yeah.
really like goes fast, you know. But there are some people that will come in front of me and I'll just be like, can I be done with this? You know? And it's just like they're not engaging, they're just not there. So I mean, it, and honestly, I hate to say this, but I mean, I have some friends that I'm the same way with. Is like, can we just like get on
Move
with
it
it?
along.
Yeah, can we move it along? Can we just like get along with? I mean, um, I don't know. I'm better off these days. Like talking to Chat GPT and like a character I made up online.
Well, are they really friends if you feel that way? I mean, I think that I have always been very clear on how I define friendship. Friendship to me is the same intensity as a marriage without sex, which is why I sustain a small circle of friends. However, I've reached a point in my life where most of my true, deep relationships, they have passed on to the next world, and I'm having to regenerate relationships.
Hmm.
And I'm finding out that I really don't want to, though. I mean, between my responsibilities with my businesses and my responsibilities with my family, I'm finding it hard to have the energy to sustain other relationships. And I often wonder if this podcast is a blessing or a curse, because I get a lot of what I need as far as intense conversation through our podcast.
Right.
And, and like the week that I was sick a couple of weeks ago and we didn't get to do it, I was really jonesing, missing the interaction, missing that. And so I don't know.
Well, I think that, my father always told me, you're going to have true friends, but it's going to be less than you can count on your hand. Those true friends, those people that you can pick up with, regardless of how long the distance was between conversations.
Did he only have three
Between-
fingers?
Huh?
Did he only have three fingers?
5. But I'm
Yeah,
telling you, I have never had more than 3 at a time, true friends that
yeah.
I can
It's
count
too
on.
hard to sustain them. It's too hard. I mean, it's like you. I don't feel guilty when we don't do things, but I feel like sometimes I'm not the best friend for you because you like to go out and socialize. And, you know, I like the idea of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great, until it's time to go. And I'm like, oh, do we have to?
Well, the problem is we live totally different lives. You never have any time alone. I never have any time with people.
Yeah. And that's what's really hard. I am very selfish of my private time because I have none anymore. I have none. I was the perfect person for COVID. I really was. I thrived during that 2.5 years of COVID. I did. I really did.
And the
Yeah.
problem I'm seeing, I don't know if y'all are, is that the more I stay inside, the more I don't want to go out.
Yep.
That's kind of me. I mean, I my some of my health problems started right before COVID, you know. I had a great contract job. I was doing some amazing, but that like just went poof, when COVID hit. Um, then after that, it was like the building that we were working in got hit by that big tornado that went through Dallas, like up
Oh my
there off of
gosh.
75. Yeah. I mean, that building's no longer there. It sustained that much damage. And so, yeah, they just kind of shut it down and were like, yeah, no, sorry, and those contracts went away. And then I moved to Tyler, and, here I am in Tyler, not having a lot of people there, to help me out, so on and so forth. So I just got used to being alone and being sustained, by myself. So
Holy moly, why did you decide on Tyler?
it, there was some stuff that happened, and, it was kind of like the logical thing for me to do at the moment.
I love Tyler. That's a beautiful little town. It's not
Mhm.
little, it's big, but I love
It's
it.
it's okay. It's okay. It had its moments. Let's put it that
Well,
way.
It's
I
probably
worked,
difficult for a gay man. I don't know how the gay bars run in Tyler, but
There is no gay bars. At the time that I was there, there were no gay bars. I
get
mean,
out of
you could
town.
Gun Barrel
no,
City was the closest gay bar.
There's one in Gun
So
Barrel. Are you kidding?
I'm
Oh
not
my God.
kidding you.
Wait,
um,
you know what I started doing this.
Well, actually, let me go back and say that the one in Gun Barrel City that used to be there got bought out and it became a straight bar.
Oh
of
my
course,
gosh.
they don't want those people there.
No.
Well,
Here
another
in
thing
Texas.
I realized is that I was exhausting myself because to get time alone when Scott is either out of town working or now he works nights, I'm staying up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning just to have quiet time for myself.
Mm.
And that's not working for me either because I got to have my sleep. So I just kind of feel stuck a little bit as
Well,
far
I
as
want to know why I have a fear of going to sleep.
Hmm.
a fear. Is it really a fear?
I will do anything and everything to stay awake until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. When I finally drop my phone and my eyes close.
That
Last
can
night,
be a form of boredom.
well, I try to turn everything off, get the, not read on my phone or anything, and I just lay there. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep soon, and I close my eyes
Yeah.
and I don't go to sleep.
I bet you have something like a hyper focus ADHD.
Ooh.
Hey, listen, I spent years, I mean, thinking that there was something wrong with me because I just did not feel. I mean, I knew how I was. I mean, at one point in my life, I could work 20 hours a day and love every single minute of it. And then all of a sudden, I got to the point where I was just like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And I'm going to tell you right now what made a difference, and you're going to laugh at me. Okay. I saw a video on TikTok, okay, about this guy saying that he suffered like ADHD paralysis. And he was saying that he knew he needed to do stuff. He knew that he needed to like get to work and get things accomplished, but it just would pass by and it would just like not, it wouldn't transpire. Okay. So the house would become a mess, or, like work wasn't even exciting anymore. It was like a chore to actually like get up and go to work, to the point where he was just ignoring things. Okay. And it was like paralysis. He said that he would just get stuck in one position and that was it. You
I
know,
can see that.
you can have some work going, or not, you can have the brain going, but it's just like you have stimulus out there, like you're watching television or watching TikTok or watching Facebook or, whatever else like that, but you're just paralyzed. And I went to my doctor and I was like, is this something? Because, I remember how I used to be and I don't feel that way anymore. And so he did some tests and, he's like, I think you have ADHD. And so I finally got put on some medication, and I woke up one morning going, oh my God, I'm back, you know?
Wow.
That makes
And
sense.
so, you know, it's like, you know, but sometimes we don't even know what's happening, what's going on, you know?
Well, I pin
Um,
everything on my depression. I always have. So,
yeah,
but there's maybe more than that.
yeah. Well, I mean,
See,
I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And so I'm getting treated for that. Plus, on top of that, I had the ADHD. So it just compiled everything.
well, y'all are just too sick for me. I don't know why I hang out with y'all.
I know we're just mental people. We're just mental.
Because
No,
we have intellect
no,
that we
no,
can't.
but you know what? My thing is that I can't relax when I know I have things to do.
Yeah.
I'm just on the opposite end of the spectrum. And so it's like, I've got to get this, and this done. And the one thing that drives me insane is like, if there's something that I can't get accomplished by myself, I need Scott or someone else to do their share, and they don't get it done. So in my mind, what it is this is on my to-do list. But now, because I'm depending on someone else to do it, I have to keep reminding them. So now I've got something else on my to-do list, which is to remind them to do that. So
Remind
it's
them.
off and it just builds and builds and builds and builds until it gets done. And all of that will go away if they'll just do it. It'll just go away,
And it, because of the way she feels, and I classify myself as her friend, I say to her now, how long are you giving me to accomplish this?
And she still ignores me. How many times did I have to ask you for that invoice?
Many, many, many.
Yes, many, many, many,
Because I
many,
told
many,
you I'm
many,
not doing it.
many times,
So
many times.
I did this. I
Many,
did the
many,
same
many.
thing. I mean, I kept on thinking that I sent you the invoice, and I was like, wait, did I send the invoice? You know, but
You'll make me
I will say
crazy.
this. I have technology that you know that I work with. You know, I have a system that, you know, I have all my to-do list, I have all my projects, I have all these things, and I actually even put Luann on it to keep her going on her project, because she told me, she was like, "Can you keep me, you know, motivated? Can you keep me going?"
Because
And
I
I was like,
need
"Yeah,
somebody to
absolutely,
be accountable to.
yeah."
Nobody has to
So
keep me motivated. I'm the
No?
little engine that could. I will drag you kicking and screaming with me.
yeah, pretty
Keyword,
much.
kicking and screaming.
And screaming. Shut the hell up. We're doing this.
But, you know,
Oh, y'all carry on. I will be right back. I'm sorry. I'm having a weird day today. I'll be right back.
well,
Okay,
carry on.
okay,
I don't think that I, did you ever have friends that you were with and you would try to be having a conversation and they would say, could you make that simple for me?
I have.
Because I don't
I
understand that.
Yeah, I have. I
So
mean,
how do you
well,
do
there's sometimes that I actually, if I see it on their face that it's just not connecting, I will say, am I not being clear, or do I need to explain it a different way? You know, how's that falling for you? I mean, and so I guess I'm that person that I need to explain things, you know, and I get really like frustrated, or not really frustrated, but you know, I want to make sure that like what is coming out of my mouth is being understood.
And a lot of people would tell me, you're talking over my head.
You know,
And I try to make things simple unless it's, you know, the thing about it is with science, and that's where I based my, I mean, I became a nurse and I went into biology and it was all about being scientific,
mhm,
you know, and being a shortcut to here it is, here are the facts, this is what we put. We don't elaborate. And so because of that, I think that a lot of times I come over like just the facts, ma'am, and dry. And people are like, I don't understand.
yeah. Well, I'm that way in business. You know, it's like I have clients that I have to deal with, And I honestly, you know, I want to sometimes just say, let me write that out for you. And I actually have. You know, they want to sit there and they want to have discussions on every single little point. And I'm like, let me write that out for you. Let me do that. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, I have friends that are the same, you know, are kind of the same way that it's like, you know, I'm talking about technology and they're just kind of going there. Okay, Matthew.
Well, I
Yeah.
understand a lot of technology, but then there are some things like when we're trying to get the website up,
Mhm.
I don't understand that, and I tell you I don't.
Yeah.
What? There's a simple way to handle that, Lulu.
What?
You go, handle it, Roy, handle it.
Handle it, Roy.
Well, Matthew is handling a lot of it, and it's make my life better.
Well,
Cause
you don't have to understand everything he's doing. If you were pregnant, you wouldn't have to walk him through every day of the gestation. You're pregnant. That's all he needs to know. You
Right. And Luann, if you are pregnant, I support you 100%. Okay.
know?
oh God, I am not going to be 70 years old and pregnant. Thank you.
I'm having a hard day today. I cannot sit still.
I am so
Okay.
sorry.
I'm having a hard, and also they're telling me that I need to hydrate more. But the problem with hydrating is you have to pee more. I don't understand this concept.
Get yourself some Celtic salt. Okay. Because that's going to keep a more in and it's going to hydrate you better.
What is it?
It's
Oh,
Celtic salt. Celtic salt.
What is
It has
that?
lots of minerals and things like that. It's regular. It's kind of like regular salt. But I take it and I like if I have a bottle of water, I'll just take like 3 or 4 granules and just put it in the water and let it dissolve. But it helps me. It gets you more hydrated because I mean, number one, it's salt, you know, and number two, it has a lot more minerals in it. And it's a little bit safer than Himalayan salt because the Himalayan salt has gotten so corporatized, or well, I don't think that's a word, more corporate,
diluted.
diluted, you know, that it's now coming with
Commercialized.
heavy
Commercialized.
metals.
And
Well,
is it KE or CE? CELTIC?
yeah.
Celtic, yeah,
Okay.
CELTIC, Celtic.
Because one of the things is that sometimes my blood pressure will go a little low and they always tell me to eat something salty. So that would take care of
Mhm.
two problems.
Yeah.
Well, that IV hydration does the same thing because it has multiple minerals in it.
I don't
You
No,
want a
add it.
needle arm
are
though.
you talking about like chelation therapy where you also get the B12, the B6, and the vitamin D and so on and so forth? Or, I mean, are you just talking?
She has kidney stones.
Okay.
No, I
Needs-
don't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me tell you what happened. You know, this doctor at the ER department told me my kidneys were full of stones, and I went to see the urologist last week. No, they're not. I have one little teeny tiny stone in my right kidney. One, just one. That's it. And you know, they kept telling me in the ER when I was there in December that they couldn't find the kidney stone that I thought I was passing, so they didn't think I was passing one. It's right there on the screen. Even I could see it once the urologist showed me the screen. He goes, "What's the hell? Is this guy an idiot?" I'm like, "Well, yeah,
Well,
probably." You know? So, but he is concerned that he went back and pulled up my labs for the past 3 years. He goes, "You're always dehydrated." And I'm like, I hate water. And, you know, and I try not to drink a lot of sugary drinks and stuff. And I hate drinking unless it's bourbon, you know, and they won't let me drive if I'm drunk. So that's kind of a moot point. So I'm trying to figure out ways to stay hydrated because he had them send me out a box Monday and the instructions look like you're building a piece of furniture from IKEA. I mean, it's like 5 pages long. And there's this big jug, this big red jug, like biological waste jug, and the thing that you put in the toilet, and you have to pee in this thing. And every time you pee, you have to put it in. And so I haven't been able to do it yet because I'm not home all day because they want you to do it every time you pee. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to
It's
pay
called
some child to
24-hour
pee into it.
urine intake.
Yes. Yes. And I'm stressed out over it. And it's sitting over there in my bathroom. And I'm just looking at that box going, all right, dude, when are we going to get to be friends? Not today.
not today.
Not
We're not
today.
doing that today.
Do you
No.
think that the fact that we jump around subjects And we don't stay on subject, irritates our friends.
I don't give a shit.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean, we're talking about maintaining friendships here today, right?
I don't give
And
a
how
well,
do
shit.
you
kind of.
do that?
Yeah, but I think it's important to point out is that, you know, kind of like the dynamic that we have is, you know, our friendship is we can go you know, anywhere we need to. Okay. We can bring it back to the topic or we can bring it back to the subject, but I think that we have such an energy that it's like, okay, well, we can talk about Deborah peeing, you know, that's
Yes.
okay,
Why
you
would you
know,
not talk about that? What's the big
but
deal?
but I have friends
No.
that I would not talk about that with. I
Well,
do.
they
I have
wouldn't be
friends that
my
I would
friend.
not talk about that. I'd be like,
Why?
yeah, whatever you do, go for it.
Why? Why would you not
I
talk
don't
about it?
know. I don't know. It's just that, you know, it's like
Is it you or them?
them. I mean, I think that it would just be, I don't know. I mean, there are some people that I can talk about sex with. There are some people that I will just avoid that. There are some people that I can talk about poo and pee but there are other people that I'm just like, I don't even want to engage that topic around here.
Oh, talk about
So
poo. Don't you remember when we were kids, we used to call it doo-doo? How come we don't
you
call
do,
it doo-doo anymore? Why is it poo? Well, I think doo-doo's cuter.
When you're a kid.
I think it's a cuter, but poo. I mean, that makes me think of the bear. And then why would you want to call that like Winnie the Pooh? I mean, that's
poo
very
poo,
confusing to my subconscious.
poo poo,
Yeah, poo poo. Oh no.
poo poo.
But
Poo.
doo-doo is cute. Doo-doo is cute. Do you need to go doo-doo? It was doo-doo and TT. Do you need
Yeah,
TT?
TT.
You don't hear that
My mom
anymore.
always tinkle. Tinkle was what was our word.
I never heard the word tinkle till I was an adult. My point being is that there's a lot of things that we said and did when kids that they're just disappearing. And I kind of miss some of them, like doo-doo. I like the word doo-doo.
Well, I
Well,
never called that procedure doo-doo for my kids. It was always, do you need to poop or do you need to go?
Yeah, but see, if you're constipated, then you call it don't. If you don't, you'll get constipated. You need to go doo-doo so you don't get don't.
so
It
is
just
that a
makes
no doo
sense.
doo? So it's a no doo doo.
It's a what?
No doo doo.
No doo-doo.
Yeah,
No doo-doo.
constipation. No doo doo.
Yeah. Yeah, all these technical words. And I don't know. It just, oh my God. I can't imagine not talking about stuff like this with your friends. If you can't talk about, what's the point of them being your friend?
Well, because they're friends and then there are acquaintances, and with an acquaintance, you can have some conversations, but there are places you don't need to go because you don't want to hear what they have to say for them.
I'm getting
Do
more to
you don't
that
want to hear
second
what they
one.
say, or you don't want them to hear what you say?
Oh, I don't care to hear their explanations. No, because they are either too conservative or too far out there.
I know some people that are really far out there. I love people like that though. And because you know what's fun is I can go there with them for a while. I can't stay there long, but I can go out there with them. I can. It's fun. You
Yeah,
just have
it's
to
those
let
slingshot
everything.
conversations. We can go
Yeah.
out there and we can have those conversations with them. Okay, but when we disengage, it's like
Yeah, you got to come back. Got to
we're
get
back.
back to my safety zone.
And I think
So
that's the problem. I think that with acquaintances, it seems that they don't get that clue that, okay, we're back now to something different. It's like they pound on that subject more, and you're like, we're done with that.
I don't know. I guess I find it when I'm engaging with some people, it just takes too much energy. It takes too much energy to be interactive with them, and maybe that's a shortcoming I have. I mean, I'm sure that you know, I'm not, you know, the best communicator, or I don't like pick up some of the cues that when I'm talking to people that I need to. I don't know, but
but why does that make you less them? It's just who you are. And why do we have to be all things to all people? And why would we want to? Why would we want to be all things to all people?
yeah,
You know, there are some
No,
people I don't want as clients. There are some people I don't want to interact with, you
yeah.
know? Uh, And frankly, I have turned down clients because of that. No, I don't want to do that for you.
Mm.
No, and I try to be polite in how I release them, and I at least try to offer them options and send them into another direction so they don't leave empty-handed. I do have that as a code for me in business, but there are just some people I don't want to deal with. I don't care how much money they pay me.
I,
I agree.
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Except that I'm the nice guy, and so I have sometimes a hard time just pulling the trigger and saying thanks, see you.
You're getting better at it though. You're
I'm
getting
getting
real matter
better.
of fact.
I'm getting better.
Yeah, you're getting real matter of fact. I've turned you into a little Nazi.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's just that you kind of like opened my eyes that it doesn't serve any purpose, doing it that way. And in fact, it actually was harming me,
Hmm.
by keeping, some relationships going. And again, as like you said, you called me on the carpet and held me to task because I wasn't seeing what was right there in front of me. So,
Well,
Yeah,
and I
but
think
go
I
ahead.
think that friendships need to be reciprocal.
yeah.
Well, and this is what's interesting for me, and maybe we need to have a whole conversation about this later on. So there's a thing about holding people accountable, and there's a thing about being reciprocal and having a fair exchange of energy in a friendship. But what I am enthralled with, intrigued with, and thrilled with is that Matthew and I had a conversation a couple of days ago from a completely different spiritual perspective, and he held me accountable based upon my spiritual beliefs,
Mhm.
not his.
Right.
Knowing what I believe, he goes, "This is who you are, and you have to be accountable for that." And how many people can say they do that for their friends? It's always trying to have an argument, convert them, change their mind, instead of meeting them on their turf,
Mhm.
instead of trying to bring them to your turf. Now, that I think is special. I think it's very special.
Well, thank you. I
Well,
mean, but you also have to understand too. I mean, where I go with that is that you had to be receptive, and so I've gotten to know you well enough that I know that you would be receptive to those types of things. Okay. I mean, I have people that I can have, like, I can say the same message to is like, why are you giving away your power? Why are you doing this? You know, don't you understand, like, how much energy you're putting into this and you're not getting anything back?
Right,
You
right.
know, so how it falls over there, it has to be a little bit, you have to be a little discerning, you know. But yeah, I mean, sometimes we need to get out of our own ways. And I mean, thank you for pointing that out to me, when I wasn't seeing it, but again, I think that you found that I was receptive enough to be able to understand that and kept going, you know. So that's what I needed. And so I appreciate
Well, it
that.
was
Thank
Sunday
you.
morning and I was cranky, so you just got me at a good time.
uh,
I'm much more blunt when I'm cranky.
well, and when somebody asks you a straightforward question, you have to be not afraid to say exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And I think that with that doesn't happen with me a lot, but with Deborah, I just she goes, well, no, I need exactly what you're thinking, and so I tell her.
Yeah, I don't have to agree with it, but I need it because it's a seesaw effect of balancing my reality versus your observations.
And I
You
think
know,
that in the past, I've been afraid to actually say what I'm thinking because I was afraid that it would uh, end a friendship or upset someone or
but
hurt
it
them.
did. You did have that experience.
Yeah.
Hello, hello. So
Yes, I
it
did have
wasn't that
that.
you had a fear. I think you had a knowledge. I think you had a knowledge, and you weren't ready to make that decision yet.
So, but it's always the way I had done things. I don't want to upset people so they don't like me.
Oh, I'm shocked at
Luann,
people that do like me.
Luann, you and I are the same way. But I want
But
people to
see,
like me.
here's my thing. If people truly like me, I know they really do like me because I have put it all out there. And sometimes I think, honestly, I think sometimes I'm overly obnoxious just to put the friendship to a test. I don't think it's intentional, but I'm like, I'm willing to lose, I guess, or I'm willing to, in my mind, I'm not losing anything if they can't take me on my worst day.
Mhm.
If you can't take me on my worst day, you don't deserve my best day,
That's right. That's absolutely right.
you
Yeah,
know?
and I found myself just kind of letting me be me more, and that being myself more, then I produced a feeling for someone else that they felt like I was threatening them
No.
when I had been friends for many, many years. Have you ever been threatened by me? No. We have a long relationship. What makes you think that I would threaten you in the future? What makes you think I'm threatening you now?
Well, okay, but that's really interesting because I think that once a dynamic changes inside of a relationship, that a little aha moment goes off, either with you or with them. Okay. And case in point, I mean, you all kind of know, a recent situation that happened, where, you know, there was someone in my life that was helping me, and all of a sudden, I kind of called them on the carpet about some stuff, and it was like it had to change because it just wasn't working for me. And I finally got the gumption up enough to say something. Well, in my mind, I'm like, but I have to be honest with you. And then it just, I mean, I knew this person for years. And then all of a sudden it was just the relationship was gone. And it confused me because, I'm like, okay, well, why can't we talk about it? And the communication just stopped.
Exactly.
Well, here's what gets me. And this is, we've talked about this, so I'm not going to belabor it, but I get so sick and tired of saying, well, you've crossed my boundary.
Hmm.
Okay, so I crossed your fucking boundary. You're gonna throw the whole relationship off because I stepped over the line, because I said something you didn't like. I mean, after years, like Luann said, years and years and years of accumulation of a positive exchange, we have one negative exchange, and you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. How do you make a decision like that?
And that's what I think happened. I mean, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm kind of grieving because I mean
Oh,
that
sure.
relationship, was there for a while, and it's like,
Well, aren't you going to
it's
give me some grace for having a bad day? I was having a bad day that day.
well, yeah.
I announced it when we first got together for what we were doing. I said, I'm just really having a bad day today.
Well,
Well,
sometimes they can't extend that grace because they're not gracious,
Well,
you
I
know?
always tell people when I'm having a bad day so they can deal with me. Like today, I told you I'm really having some issues sitting still, and it was too hot, and then I had to go pee, and you know, and all this other stuff. But you know what? Hey, it's my fucking show. Deal with it, you know.
Damn.
But yeah, but no, I'm just like that's why I say friendships are like marriages for me. You work hard at them. There it is a give and take. And just like in a marriage, well, sometimes a partner is pulling 90% of their weight and the other's only pulling 10. Marriages go through those cycles. It's the same thing with friendships. And
Mhm.
Luann's called me to the floor a couple of times, and I honestly can't say that the things that she'd called me to the floor with, I would ever do differently, but at least I'm aware that I need to try and do them differently, or at least give her some insight or warning, But you hit on a really big point, I think, that people don't take in consideration. We're in different places in our lives. You're
Mm.
alone. I have too many people banging on my head. I have 9 people that I'm responsible for on some level. 9. And that's not counting clients. These are just family members. And it's not like I'm overly responsible for them, but they call me if they have problems. They call me
Right.
when they need reassurance. I worry about them, you know, that type of thing. And so you just have to make a decision. Do you get enough out of the relationship in other areas that you can overlook certain areas where you don't get enough in the relationship? You know, that's why some marriages thrive even though there's not a sexual intimacy. And other marriages, they fuck like rabbits, but they still fall apart, you
Yeah.
know? So it's all about what is important to you and what you're willing to give, not give back, but to give, period.
Right.
So
Because people say marriage is 50-50. I said, no,
it
it's
is
supposed to be
not. Liar,
100%.
liar, pants on
It's
fire.
supposed to be 100% on everybody.
Well, that's not even true either. I mean, sometimes you
No,
gotta
it doesn't work that way. But I mean, if you're
know.
trying to give the best that you have, then you can work things out.
Well,
Like
I'm
you say,
exhausted.
sometimes it's 90-10.
Yeah, and
But
that's on
but
a
I
good
think
day
that's okay.
sometimes.
But I believe there needs to be an expectation inside of the relationship that, yeah, it can be 90-10 for now. Okay.
Yeah, for now.
You have to understand that it's going to fluctuate and it's going to go back and forth. It's those relationships that we have that it stays 90-10. Okay, that really become the problem, because it's like, oh, well, if they're going to do 90% of the work, then I'll do 10. Okay. Oh, well, let's press that boundary. Let's go to 5% and they can take 95%.
Well, that's because there's no give and take. Someone
Yeah.
forgot about the give part. I mean, I have literally said in some of my relationships, I have been giving and giving, giving. I'm stepping away for a moment. I'm not leaving the relationship. I'm just stepping away and
Really.
I'm focusing on me because if I don't replenish me, I will have nothing to give to you.
And I know most women start life that way because they give to their children, I mean, they're just constantly giving and they forget. And I tell this to women all the time. We forget to fill our well. If you don't fill your well, you can't help others.
I filled my
It,
well a lot with the wrong people.
I just want to toss people down a well sometimes.
That would work too.
so I'm not filling my well and I
Oh,
don't know what to do about it.
my well's so empty right now you can hear the echo. Hello, 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 hello. I'm in the mood, aren't I?
Yeah, but that's okay.
I don't even know if I have a well. I think it ran dry and I'm trying to dig somewhere else. I don't know.
Oh, geez. I want to do something fun. I'm feeling very rebellious and really like a renegade right now, where I want to just run down the streets
Did you say
naked or something.
rent a gay?
Renegade,
Renegade, renegade,
Oh, okay.
not
A renegade.
renegade.
I was like,
Why would
I've
I
never put,
renegade? I have you. I don't have to rent one.
I was gonna say, you don't have to pay for my friendship. I mean, but if you want to, that's okay.
I have a good gay story to tell you. You want to hear my gay story?
Is this about a renegade?
Yeah, it really is. I had a gay roommate years ago after my first marriage, and he was a hairdresser, and he was great. And he took really good care of me. He cooked brunch when I had a hangover or whatever, and he always did my makeup and cut my hair and everything. And I had really long hair almost down to my waist, and I told him to trim it, and he cut it way up here, and I started screaming, and he slapped me, and goes, "Shut up, bitch! I'm doing you a favor."
I know what's good for you.
But that's not the story. We went to a drag show one night, and there was this huge drag queen there, huge. And I had really big gargantua breasts, because I had a breast reduction 2 years ago. And this queen came up and literally grabbed my breast and squeezed just as hard as he could and says, "Oh, honey, are these real?" I mean, I almost went to my knees. He squeezed so hard. And David, I'm 5'10", and he hit me right about here. He was a shorty. He was a cutie, but he was a shorty. He literally crawled up her leg like a monkey and punched him in the face and knocked him out. And I know I mixed my pronouns. I don't give a shit. So anyway, he crawled up that drag queen's leg and punched that queen out and says, "Don't you ever treat a woman like that again." I loved it. He was my hero. So I
Yes,
wish I
gay
had
men
that.
can be that way.
All my gay friends have been wonderful to me. They all have, just wonderful. I don't understand how anyone could have a negative feeling about gay men. I've just found them to be very wonderful friends.
Do you want to have a conversation with me going there? Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. Gay
Let's
men
do
are
it next
wonderful.
week. Let's do it next week. No, I'm serious. Let's do it next week. Let's do it. I was married to a gay man. I figured if any straight woman has a right to talk about a gay man, it's me. You know, screw you. I
I
can
don't
talk
know,
about
but again, I mean, gay culture is gay culture, you know? I mean, they have the good guys, they have the bad guys, but, you know, I don't know. I mean,
it. It's like Mae West says, when you're good, but when you're bad, you're
yeah,
better. So I'll tell you a little secret. I was in BDSM and I was trained by gay leather daddies. No one trains better than a gay leather daddy.
nope, you're
They
absolutely
they
right.
know protocol. They teach protocol. Protocol is the utmost importance. They set those rules. They're in stone.
Mhm.
I love it. So, all right, how the hell did we get here?
I I don't know. We went from talking about not wanting to engage in conversation to, hey, let's talk about BDSM. Okay,
I could write a book about it.
I could too.
Really? Top or
Yeah.
bottom?
Um, in some of the relationships, I mean, it was kind of give and take. Um, I actually trained with um a lady, but I mean, her name was Contessa, and so her name was
Right.
Madam Contessa. And so I was her. She did not call me a slave. I mean, but she did call me a servant. Okay, and so I trained with her for a while, and then I was actually with another house, and was part of a den for a while. So there were 5 guys, that were part of the den under Sir Richard. So
Ooh, we may know some of the same people.
maybe.
So you consider yourself submissive or dominant?
Um, I'm kind of in between.
You're a switch.
Well,
It means you're a pain in the
yeah.
ass. Are you a
Well,
masochist or a sadist?
I'm more of a sadist.
Oh, a switch sadist. You are a pain in the ass, literally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've learned. Okay, so one of the things that many people don't know about me, while I was in those relationships, I became a certified disciplinarian. So
Now, I
I know
never
how to
heard that.
spank. I know how to whip. I know how to degrade. I know how to do all that stuff.
It's
So,
fun.
And I'm innocent.
Oh my
oh, I
God.
don't know. I mean, I think that you could probably like walk into it like that.
Yeah, I could see her in some leathers with a little crop. She'd look good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why not?
yeah, yeah. I was actually famous in that world for a while. People used to fly over from all over the world to see me.
Very cool. Yeah, we
So,
might know some of the same people.
yeah. Well, we'll have to talk about that one day.
Sure.
Have to talk about that one day.
It was an
And
experience for sure to learn all that stuff.
we'll have to put up the X-rated sign for
Oh,
the,
please. All of our stuff says it's not for children just because I cuss. So I always just put it's not for children.
no,
You know,
sometimes it's not for anybody, but
no, no. But all right. All right. Well, fun things, fun to look forward to. I guess BDSM's next on our list.
Doesn't have to be, but I mean, hey,
and I'll be over here going, you what?
But I
You know,
think that
if
would
it,
be a kind of a cool dynamic, because Luann, you'll be like, I don't understand that.
well,
What
either
does
you
that
feel
mean?
it in your gut or you don't understand it, is what I have found out. But what
Yeah.
I have found is that everybody has a little of it in them if they'll just put their mind at rest and just let themselves relax into it.
Well, Lady Contessa, when I mean, she said it this way, okay? The reason people don't like engage is because they're afraid. But once they have engaged, that fear is gone,
Oh yeah.
you know? And
Oh yeah.
so, you know, it was like, eh, I mean, I mean, I saw her transform, you know, a woman. Okay. She became a dominatrix in like 6 hours. Okay.
Wow.
And it was this housewife that was afraid to, like, you know, of her own shadow. Okay. And her husband kept on saying, you need to do something, you need to do something, because you're a dud, you're a dud, you're a dud. And Lady Contessa took her on and was like, okay. And after she was done with her instruction and her teaching, that woman transformed. I mean, she wasn't afraid anymore. And so
No.
that's kind of the stuff that I see.
It's really the original theater play for mental health.
Mhm.
It healed a lot and I saw a lot of people healed that way. All right, so I have to ask, were you a sexual player or a non-sexual player?
It depended on the relationship. With Lady Contessa, it was non-sexual.
Yeah, mine was always non-sexual, which most people don't understand, but I was strictly non-sexual. But it was very healing for everybody, including me. Being in BDSM taught me how to be nurturing
Mhm.
because you cannot beat the shit out of people and not nurture them later.
Yeah, you're
If you
absolutely
break
right.
your toys, they won't play with you anymore. So you had to take good care of them and you had to make sure you were safe and you had to learn those things, how to whip, how to spank, how to do all those things. You had to, or you were a danger.
Mhm.
And you would get blackballed.
Yeah.
So interesting. All right. Those were the days. Those were the days, my friends. We thought they never end with sing and laugh.
Okay, on that note,
On
Have a
that
song.
note, when are you going to come over here so we can talk and laugh and have a good time?
I don't think, oh,
Yeah.
what am I doing tomorrow? I gotta go get my oil changed tomorrow. And what else am I doing tomorrow?
Earl, I need
She's
to get my Earl
choosing an
changed.
oil change.
Um, um, oh, that's the wrong
I'm
day.
not feeling cherished at all.
Well, I want to cherish you.
I'm
I've got a
fine.
call
How can I
at
help?
1 tomorrow, and then I've got a happy hour I can go to tomorrow night, and I have nothing else to do, so we could do something tomorrow. Who the
What's a
hell is
happy hour
giving
you
that
got to go to
phone?
tomorrow night?
So do
Um,
something tomorrow.
you could go with me if you wanted to. It's Val's. Oh, it's for Chic Networking
Ah,
at Val's. I don't know if I should mention their name in our podcast. They might not appreciate it.
I don't think anybody's gonna know who it is.
No, probably not. So, um, we need to go on a girls' trip. We can take Matthew though.
I'm down.
He could drive Miss Daisies. He could drive the Miss Daisies.
I could be the chauffeur and the scout.
Yeah, that'd be
the
cool.
scout and the chauffeur.
The
Okay.
Yeah,
scout. What do you mean the
absolutely.
scout? What's a scout? What do
A
you mean?
scout.
Like a
Okay.
wingman.
Like a wingman. I'll be like, you know, like, okay, him, maybe. No, not him. No.
I've got these 30-year-old boys hitting on me though. What the hell is going what has
Oh,
happened to our young men that they want to be with old women?
it's cougar
Hey,
culture. Cougar culture.
don't knock it until you've tried it.
Yeah, but people used to have a fit when Scott and I got together, and he's only 12 years younger than me. These 30-year-olds are 25 years younger than me. What the hell is going on with
Well,
those boys?
there was a young man I was seeing from Greenville, and he practically begged me not to, disconnect. And I said, look, you need to find someone your age. I am too old for you. You cannot have a productive life with someone 40 years older than you.
Yeah.
Oh
Been
Lord.
there, done
Okay.
that.
All right, Lulu, tell me about your new website, the AHA's
Oh,
website.
uh, I'm still working on it with Matthew's help, and it's Ancient Herbal Apothecary. I will have all of my favorite things and your favorite things too. Uh, ancientherbalapothecary.com. You can reach me through Luann, Luann, at ancientherbalapothecary.com.
Ancient herbal kind of makes me think that a simpler way of saying that would just been dried herbs.
Yeah,
but
but it doesn't sound as good.
I
it doesn't
know,
sound as good. And I
but
mean,
but doesn't
I get
it
what
kind
you're
of mean the
saying.
same? Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I really talk about when I do a podcast is these herbs have been around thousands and thousands of years. I
Oh,
mean,
and I put that in a proposal for one of our clients for you to come do some herb classes. Thanks for reminding me.
okay, good to
Surprise!
know. Good to
Yeah,
know.
surprise.
Oh my God, Luann just had an aha moment.
You'd be surprised what I tell people that we do. I'm like, we can do anything.
Well, we can do anything, but we need a heads up. Because then when somebody says, "Hey, I heard you do herbal classes," and I'm like, "Oh, I can, yeah."
Okay, if it's not sexual, you just say yes. Anything they say, you just say yes. Because if we don't do it, I know someone that does. I know someone that does the sexual stuff too, but we're not going there.
No.
It's still illegal. So, all right, Matthew, Dr. Pierce.
You can reach me at matthewapierce.com. That's my personal page. And so you can see the things that I do there, read my blog. I also have a kind of a new business, kind of shifting a little bit, and that is connectionsdesignstudios.com. So connectionsdesignstudios.com, where I do all my website and branding and so on and so forth. So you can check me out there. You can get a hold of me at matthewapierce.com or matthew@connectionsdesignstudios.com.
And we're all thinking about starting another business later on, maybe. We're pondering it. So send us some positive vibes and energy so we can figure out if we want to do this or not. You know, I I keep saying I'm going to retire and then I start another business. What the hell?
What is that? 5 for you now? 6?
Not yet. So the land development deal is kind of on hold a little bit. We're looking at closing up some deals and stuff, but it's not moving as fast as I want. They're still doing the PI business, isgu.com. Still doing some spiritual coaching. That's DeborahCollingRose.com. Still doing paranormal investigations, DFWParanormalInvestigations.com. And of course, our sponsor, MilesOfSmilesEvents.com, where we do intuitive, interactive entertainment. And you can always find me anywhere on social media. Just Google Deborah Colleen Rose. I've done a good job branding my name. So,
Yes.
and Dr. Matthew sprucing our website, and we'll be seeing that in the next couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to that. So we will see you guys next week. And
Okay.
Bye now.
I'm done.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, then we'll say goodbye.
Y'all be good.